And as you guys all know, these events are only made possible because of our generous sponsors and supporters. So TST, it continues to be our sponsor for both March and April. So we've got a short little video from them as well. You guys see that?
Yep.
Work System Technologies was founded in 2010, offering an affordable, reliable TPMS solution to an aftermarket and retrofit niche in the recreational vehicle market. In 2017, TST was acquired by Pressure Systems International. PSI is the global leader of automatic tire inflation systems for the commercial vehicle market for 18-wheelers, as you know now. After the acquisition, PSI re-engineered TST's TPMS product to meet the grueling standards of the commercial vehicle market, and also to meet the requirements to become an original equipment manufacturer, or OEM, factory installed component in the RV market. In early 2018, Forest River began testing TST's TPMS system, and after over a year of scrutiny, TST received the approval stamp by Forest River and began talking to the various production lines within Forest River. TST is very proud to be the RV industry's first TPMS at the OEM level, and is the only tire pressure monitoring system approved for use on OEM factory installation on every line at Forest River and Thor. TST, the RV industry's only standard OEM TPMS.
So thank you again to TST for being our sponsor and making this possible. Today, we are going to be hearing from our wonderful Drab to Fab project leads, as well as volunteers on the project, to hear why this event and project has been important to them, and what they've learned and why they volunteered. So to start us off, Tracy is our special events chair and has been leading the Drab to Fab project. So we're going to hear from Tracy, an overview of the project and the latest and greatest updates.
Welcome, everyone, and thanks for having us today. This project from the beginning has been a great brain inspiration of Susan's, who got to call me one day fresh out of the shower and says, "Hey, I got this great idea. Let's take an older RV and bring it to life, update it, and do our ladies build with it." And little did we know at that point in time, the outpouring of volunteers, the outpouring of all the sponsors that came through in all varieties, through volunteers to the products that they've donated, to funding, everything from products to what we're doing with lunches. Snacks have been great. So this project went from a baby to a full-blown adult, basically in the matter of probably a couple weeks, right, Susan? So we've gone from finding the RV to what are we going to put in it. The sponsorship that Jordan, is awesome, by the way, has come through with, and the sponsors that have contacted us, and we've got so many new products that are featuring in this RV, things that, I've been in industry for 32 years. I'm like, wow, I didn't know this was in the industry. This is so cool to see these products coming in and being put on an RV all together with all these ladies and gentlemen, by the way, because there's been a ton of gentlemen working on this project. Of course, we've come to have some roadblocks as we were expecting. We've had some things that we breezed right through. We've had a lot of expertise in all different areas and aspects of building an RV, to how to put it together, how to wire it, what works with what. They've been great. We've had people on speed dial. So, and obviously we're going to launch this in June, and all the sponsors are getting invites to come to the launch of this, as well as the volunteers. So it's been a great and phenomenal project for RVWA. Also with RVTI and partnering with them, they've been great in letting us use their facility, giving us their expertise also. They've got quite the group of people there that are helping us move through different segments of the build. So it's kind of an overview and a little bit of segment there of what's going on. Currently, we are in cabinet set mode. So cabinet set mode will then go into appliances, and then we're getting pretty close after that with trimming and clean up and doing the outside graphics.
Awesome. Thank you, Tracy. And thank you for your leadership on this project. You and Susan are quite the leaders here. So thank you for all that you have done on this.
It's been great. We've met so many people, and we'll hear from a couple of the ladies here. And they're making friends and acquaintances, and jobs have come through this, opportunities. They're meeting outside of Drab to Fab now. So we'll get to hear some of that with the ladies that are going to talk in a little bit. But yeah, it's been a great learning experience.
Susan, do you want to, I hope everyone can see on the screen, this is the page of the Drab to Fab website with all of the partners. So do you want to talk a little bit more about our partners and sponsors?
Yeah,
Susan?
we'd love to. So, just to start off with, we had 2 premium sponsors. Well, let's go rewind just a little bit, but so Eric Sal. So Eric Sal and Patrick, they're both gold and silver, and under each one of those companies is so many other companies. So we were able to secure a lot of product through those 2 companies. Eric Sal, we have Max Air, Suburban, Coleman, Dicor, a lot of that stuff. So this air conditioning, stuff like that. And then we get to Patrick, and not only did we get a lot of product from Patrick, but we also got a lot of volunteers. So the designer of the RVs from Patrick and Sharpline, and then the flooring, the wall boards, the plumbing fixtures, all that kind of stuff has all come from Patrick. And so they've been really great sponsors to work with. And then we also have RVTI, and I think Tracy already mentioned they're the ones who gave us the money to buy the RV. The RV was $5,000. And then their other sponsor is Hebner Marketing. And so Hebner Marketing is actually the company that Jordan works for, but they're a marketing company. And they have been amazing partners, as in they designed our website for Drab to Fab and for RVWA. They're right now working with us on creating some other websites and other projects with us, and they're doing that free of charge. So we can't thank them enough. If anybody's ever tried to do something like that, their time is worth more than a money donation. So after that, we have like over 40 sponsors of just other products. And I'm not going to try to bore anybody, but we have Global Link, also CPG, who's offered. So now this is the silly part. So you never think about it when you're building an RV. What do you need? Well, screws. Lots and lots of screws, all different kinds of screws. So thankfully, Global CPG was able to provide us with all that. They're also providing our Kia-like entry doors and those type of things. So we also have solar. The RV's got solar from Go Power. Blue Ox is donating a hitch. Gold Heat, because of Gold Heat, we've got radiant flooring in the bedroom. So no matter where you're at there, you're going to be nice, toasty, warm. Lippert Components they did our door, our windows, our awning, and some of our furniture along with the mattress. Thetford did the toilet, and B&B Molders basically did all the ceiling vents and all the hatches on the outside of the RV for plumbing and everything else like that. Let's see, Hughes Transformers. That's something I just learned what they do, and I'm still not exactly sure what that thing sticking to the wall is, but it lights up. You'll have to excuse me, some of this electrical stuff's way over my head.
That
AGCO
thing
covered,
is the bomb, Susan.
what is it?
It's awesome. So it'll detect reverse polarity out there, problems coming through with your power from campgrounds and things like that. Protects your whole unit system. It's really cool. It's really good. It's really cool.
Thank you, Tracy. And this is why I see left, right hand of the brain. All I know is it turns red if it's not work, or if the power's not right, and it's white when it is right. Red Arc is going to give us a brake control. Samlex has our inverter, Crane Composites. So now this is a cool one from Crane Composites. So this is a stick and tin unit. So what we did is we ripped off the front and the back, and we put some laminate on the front and the back. So now we have stick and tin and laminate. Looks very slick and very pretty. More Ride is doing our steps and some of our suspension. RV Intelligence is going to do some really neat Bluetooth capabilities of leveling the RV and the slide outs. Panel Solutions did our panels in our bathroom that we just finally installed. Let's see, Specialty Recreation is our skylights and some of our sink options. Advantage Pressure Pro is our tire pressure monitoring kit. Icon, they've been great. So those are the fender skirts, and we're turning them from white to black now. King Connect is our connectivity when it comes to the cell booster and TV antenna and Wi-Fi. Trailer Valet. Okay, so this thing's this is kind of cool. It's an actual robot that you hook up to your RV and you can move it everywhere you want. It's all remote control. Dragonfly, Battleborns are batteries. Ranger Kendra Americana tire and wheel, which I think we have some of the ladies on here for now, gave us these really beautiful, sexy wheels that turned out really nice and look fantastic on the RV. And they even came out and helped us install them. Kuma Outdoors. So Kuma gave us for our prize package some tables and chairs. Sharp Line Converting, they're doing all of our graphics. And if you've been out to the build site, you've gotten a sneak preview of what those graphics are going to be. And it's like, I'm not going to tell you anything more than that, other than they're really cool. So Duoform Plastics put our skis on underneath our slides so they don't ruin the floors. Obico gave us some netting. What do they call those little nets that you can hook up all over the place? We've got 2 for the bedroom where you can slide your cell phone in, and a couple for the office area so you can put other stuff in there. BAL is a late runner, just joined us. They're going to put their electronic jacks on it. Let's see, Optronics. Oh, and the rest are just so that's basically most of it. But we have to give it also another shout out to, so we have a handful of sponsors that didn't really necessarily have product to sponsor, or they couldn't sponsor because somebody else had donated the product they wanted to donate. And so we call them the team champions. So they all donated some money. So if anybody's there, there's snacks on the table and the pizza that we come in. Unfortunately, Papa John's is the only one who delivers to RVTI, so that I've found so far. So we're kind of full on Papa John's, but those are East to West, CoachNet, Rolik, Heartland, Techmoto, Jayco, and GE Appliances. Whew.
Like we said,
Hopefully I
there's
did
been
them
a
all
ton of
justice.
support. There's been so much support of this project.
It's been incredible. I mean, you think about it when you're building the RV, everything that goes in it and all the different companies with this industry that actually puts their products in them. It's really pretty incredible.
So thank you again to all of our sponsors. I know there's members from those teams that are here on this call. So thank you for being supportive of this project. So now to hear what you all came to hear is what was the experience like for our volunteers. So we've got Kim and Phyllis and Denise on, but I think there's more people in the audience who have also participated in the build. So feel free to jump in here and share your experiences as well. So I want to start out, and maybe you're right to my left, Kim. So I'm going to start. I'm going to throw this one to you, and then maybe everyone can add in. So why did you volunteer? Like, what made you say, "Oh, I want to go do that"?
Well, I'm new to the RV industry. I have been an RVer for many, many, many years, but have never really did anything more than, pack it up, put food with it, and show up at the campground and let my husband do all the work. So he'll tell you he did all the work too. So the opportunity for me was to kind of see what's behind the walls, and to understand what's going on with the camper, with the RV itself, with the unit itself. And it was a great opportunity for me, being new to the industry, to have an opportunity to meet different people. So all of you guys have been just great to work with, and it's been fabulous to meet different people and learn more about what's going on behind the walls.
Awesome. Phyllis, Denise, do you guys have kind of same type thing, or do you guys have other reasons for volunteering?
Yeah, I've never had the opportunity to go RVing, but I volunteered more for the opportunity to interact with my team members from the local branch here in Elkhart, Americana Tire and Wheel. But it also gave me opportunity to interact with people from other companies within Kenda, like from Dexstar, and of course Kim from corporate, Kenda. And I also looked at it as a way to challenge myself and get outside of my comfort zone. Because, I'm a girly girl. I haven't changed a tire since, I was like a teenager and had to do it for driver's ed. And I don't usually use tools, let alone power tools. So, it was to challenge myself and get outside of my comfort zone. And I did grow up being taught to give back to, our community and to other organizations. And I can't always do that financially, but I can give back through my time, which often ends up being more of a valuable experience than just giving money. And I thought this was a great organization to give back to, because of the supporting of women in the RV industry, and how the RVWA supports women to encourage, educate, and empower other women. So those were kind of my reasons.
Awesome. What about you, Denise?
Yeah, I love building things and projects and helping. So those are all reasons that I volunteered, but I also really wanted to take the opportunity to be able to connect with other RVWA members and industry women. That was a big deal to me and was pretty exciting. So.
Absolutely. So what was maybe the most unexpected part about volunteering? Were there things you showed up and had one idea of how it was going to go, and maybe it went differently, or what did you not necessarily expect to be doing or learning or come away with? Maybe we'll go reverse. We'll start with you, Denise.
I was surprised, honestly. I mean, I like tools. I love building things, but I was surprised to find that there are things that I was good at that I haven't tried before, and it felt really good to be helpful and be good at doing things. I was surprised to learn a lot of the things I learned, as far as I know what butyl tape is now, so that's very exciting, and all the little things behind the scenes of everything. That was very unexpected to, I don't know, I guess just be a valuable volunteer there. I thought that mostly I'd just be doing, following directions and helping out, and, manual labor. I'm good at that, but I was also, it was unexpected to be a helpful and be good at something that I hadn't tried before.
I will say, so I volunteered in the fall at one of the earlier builds, and I came away with a awe of the women, my fellow volunteers. But I definitely felt like I had a desk job. Like I thought I was pretty handy, and I will say, no, I work at a desk all day, being around all these women who are doing awesome things. So just wanted to throw that in there. But Phyllis, how about you?
Well, I was surprised because I was going in with the intent to help switch out, and install the Kenda tires and wheels. And we were all trying to figure out how's that going to take 4 hours? So, we discovered we got to do a lot more than just the tire and wheel part of it. I was surprised at how much fun that we had and really how willing everybody was to share their knowledge and to jump in to help each other out. And like you, Monica, I have a desk job as well. So, it was, it served its purpose as far as challenging me and giving me opportunity to try things that I wouldn't just normally go out to try on my own. And another unexpected thing, which was kind of cool, another volunteer and I, one of my coworkers and I, our birthdays are on the same day, and we discovered that one of the volunteers, Holly, she also has her birthday on the same day. So birthday triplets. That was fun.
Forgot about that.
That was a fun day.
It was.
What's the chances, right?
Exactly. Here I am, as my daughter likes to remind me quite frequently, a woman of almost 60. And I've never met another person with a birthday the same day as mine. So it was kind of cool that our new coworker who joined us back in February, turns out her birthday's the same day. And then a month later, we discover a third person. So that was pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. And for me, I found it was interesting that how few of the women in the group that we were at had actually had the opportunity to use like an impact wrench or a torque wrench or power tools. Phyllis being one of them had never changed it, hadn't changed a tire in a long time, or, just some of the basic stuff that, I also have a desk job, so I don't get to do it very often either, but it was just something that I get hauled out to the barn to help do. But I was surprised at how many people didn't have the opportunity. And it was so great to see everybody cheering everybody on. We had a little mishap with the jack where we had lowered the trailer a little. Pardon?
What happens at Drab to Fab stays at Drab to Fab.
I wasn't going to name names, but we did lower it a little faster than we anticipated. And we jostled a few people around inside of it. Luckily, everybody was fine. But, they're skill sets that, I think are important for people to understand, or at least have seen it or done it. So I thought it was unexpected that so few people had those opportunities. So it was a great opportunity for people to learn and kind of get outside their comfort zone with such a great support system. And the other thing that I found that was a little unexpected is I didn't realize that the best way when you're installing the floor to a shower, the base, to get the glue to stick is to actually dance on top of it. So there's some video attached to that I know Susan has posted. You'll get a kick out of that, but there was a lot of fun and a lot of unique ways of getting things done. But we had a really good time, and that was, that wasn't unexpected. I thought that we would have, it seemed like a good group of people, but it was really a ton of fun.
Yeah, I think that was a lot of the census of people coming, because you go in very intimidated. First of all, you don't know what you're exactly going to do. You guys knew your tires, but beyond that, and then you don't know who you're going to be working with, right? And so it's kind of the unexpected, and so it's kind of nice for one to get outside your comfort zone, right? And then to go and meet so many people. I gotta admit, we've had, I'm trying to think, over 80 volunteers. I can't remember exactly the last count. And if I go through every picture that we have, I remember each one of them differently because it's been so, I mean, it's my favorite part of this whole thing was meeting all these people I would have probably never met before. I mean, where would I have ever had the opportunity to meet people like this, all just basically in this area? So we've had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of dancing is always encouraged. And I think we have 3 videos now that have hit the internet with people dancing. And luckily I've been in behind the camera of each one of those. So we'll hopefully keep it that way. But yeah, I think the whole synopsis behind this project was to bring women together, right? You know, the RV is kind of like the secondary thing, you know, yeah, we're going to flip an RV, but it's been about meeting each other, you know, and getting to know each other. And now when we, you know, see each other or have an event, it's like, hey, you know, long time no see type of deal. So I'm really excited about the reveal because we're going to have all of our volunteers come back and be a part of that and celebrate. And I think it's going to be a riot doing that. But Tracy, what did you have on that front? She mutes us, so she's.
On how many times we've had to teach people how to use a saw or or a power tool, or you know, it's been great though. I've been amazed from the start of just building the roof and back through putting up new sidewalls and paneling, and I mean M&M as we call the bedroom, the 2 M's that came. One of them knew how to even use a saw. I taught them the first time, and I turned around and they've done 2 more panels. So wow, it's been a great, it's almost the see one, do one, teach one, because as you guys are talking about, a lot of them haven't used power tools of any sorts, and they're a little intimidated, but that's been fine. They've jumped right in, and that's the kicker. They were willing to learn. And then you turn around and they're teaching somebody else. So it was like, this is great. I've never seen somebody or how many people have learned things so fast. I think that was one of my eye-opening experiences of thinking, oh, we're gonna have to stay with this one or that one, you know, and more handhold. And we didn't have to do that. And it's been great. Everybody willingness to jump in and learn something new, you know, and not that I know it all. I've learned some new stuff through this too. So
I've learned a lot of what not to do.
Right.
I mean, I can measure 3 times and still cut 3 times, or measure twice once and it finally works, and then have somebody come in behind it and ruin it for you, and you have to measure it and cut it again.
Do it. Try to do patterns, and now we know why the RV industry doesn't use patterns for sidewalls, you know,
Yeah.
or, you know, Susan, you should be better now that I got you your special tape measure.
Oh yeah, so one of my weaknesses is when you're looking at the tape measure and all there's little notches in it. Like I'm sitting there counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 5 eighths, or is it, you know, all that kind of, you know.
3/16.
So,
that's what got her,
yeah,
everybody. So I had 3/16.
Yeah. Nice. So she bought me a tape measure that actually says each one on it. So I'm just like, oh yes, 5 3/16 and 5 1/8, and I look really smart now.
Which I didn't know those existed. So when I saw one, I'm like, oh, Susan's.
Yeah, I got to admit. I mean, I'm not afraid to usually do anything, but my skills have gotten a lot better, I think. And Tracy is right. It was really exciting to see. We have a lot of repeat offenders, Denise being one of them, that no matter how we treat her, she keeps on coming back. And I think the last time she came back, I think all you really got to do was sweep the floors.
Yes, but
Correct?
I'm good at it. Yes. It's still helping.
It's fantastic. And you wouldn't believe how important sweeping floors is, because at the end of the day, when I'm tired and I want to go home, that's always the last thing to do. So sometimes when it's already done, you just sit there and you're like, oh wow, I get to go home now. I don't have to worry about sweeping the floors. So what's going on in the background here is Monica had to leave really quick because she has kids at home, and all she heard was glass shattering. And so she's like, she was like, take over. I got you. Oh, you are back.
I just sat down as you shared. Yes, glass shattering. It's lunchtime. 6 and 7-year-old decided to make this a lunch that ended with a ceramic bowl being smashed on the floor. So
Oh, they tried so hard. That's nice.
So sorry.
That's
It
sweet.
sounds like you guys were doing well.
No, we were just, we continued on with your question, and Tracy and I kind of put our 2 cents in, and so I don't know what other questions you had or anything. We'll let you take back over.
I guys hit this one. What was the most valuable part? Did you guys talk about what the most valuable part of
Nope.
volunteering was? All right, Kim or Phyllis, I think you want to go first.
Sure. For me, the most valuable part was the feeling of satisfaction, knowing that, I did assist in bringing this project closer to completion for an organization that, it's a worthy cause, in my opinion. But even more valuable for me personally was that I left with a sense of accomplishment and self-confidence. Because, as I said, I questioned my ability. My family was saying, why you're going to do that? You don't know how to do that. So let me just tell you, this little gray-haired granny can change a tire and wheel assembly like a boss.
Love it. That's awesome. That is so amazing to hear. And that's, what we wanted out of this project is to have that feeling of empowerment and that you can do these things. So that is so amazing to hear.
And I did use a circular saw, and I have all my 8 fingers and 2 thumbs. So I'm good.
Yay.
Awesome. How about you, Kim?
For me, since I'm not in the same office as Phyllis is and the team there, for me it was valuable to actually get to spend time with them and talking about different things. So it was the opportunity to learn about them more, on a personal basis, find out, a little bit more about them and spend time, in a non-office situation, which was very valuable. And, for me, there's so much that goes into an RV that I never even thought about. The pieces and parts behind the walls. And plus, personally, it now gives me the opportunity to, if things go wrong with ours, because we have an older unit, that I can help. And then it also has given me the opportunity to upgrade a lot of things because I saw all the really cool things going in there. So now I'm like making a list of all of the things I want in my unit. So it's been good that way for me. Probably not so good for my husband because he's going to get a big old list, but at least now he has someone that can help him do that. All kidding aside, it was just a great experience to spend time with different people and learn about different things and appreciate the opportunity to volunteer. It was really good. I think you guys are doing, amazing work with the RVWA, and this project was a great way to bring people together even during this pandemic. So kudos to you guys for all the work on that.
Thank you. It wouldn't be possible without all of the volunteers.
Oh yeah. Tracy and I would not want to do it by ourselves.
No. I love it to death. It's been an awesome project. Yeah, it is so much harder to take an older unit, rip it apart and put it back together than build one from scratch.
Oh yeah, I agree. And you know what, we kind of Kim put hit on this too. We're in the middle of pandemic. I mean, we started this August of last year, when it was, everything was really scary still. I got out of the house besides the office because of it. So, and I was actually able to socialize with people where people were stuck in, their houses, not being able to socialize or anything. We got to go out once, twice a week, masks and all, and be able to meet people and talk. And so I feel like this whole pandemic and being locked away wasn't quite as tough for me.
How about you, Denise?
Definitely connecting with other women and alliance members is the most valuable part to me. It was something that I wanted to join when I heard about the RVWA. I'm just like, yes, let's get on board with this. I love the like-mindedness of all of the members, men and women, and just helping the industry. Um, the conversations and interactions that I got to have during the Drab to Fab build helped me a lot. Just being able to learn from these other ladies and men, but everybody. It's just the learning experiences that I got, the connections that I got to make. That, like Susan said, I worked at Century for a long time, but I don't have a lot of opportunities to meet with different individuals from different companies throughout the industry or throughout just locally. So this has been wonderful, and it's something that I will definitely volunteer for next time, whenever that happens, for a future build. But also, I'm going to help with those cabinets whenever you need.
Wednesday.
Okay.
Fingers crossed if Patrick has everything together. We had to kind of sidestep. There were some measurements that were off. So Wednesday, we're fingers crossed we'll have them back again and we can finish that up. But we also have on the call Hope and Chalet, which also volunteered too.
Yeah, Hope, do you want to talk a little bit about your experience, and Shelley, we'll want to hear from both of you guys as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll keep it short because I could go on forever. This experience has changed so many things for me, not just personal, but also in my work life too. So just a little bit of background. I've worked in the industry for about 13 years. My dad worked for Forest River for 32 years. And I started on the production line. I did repairs. I went on for about 3 years, I did repairs, and then I went on I was a sealer. I worked in QC, PDI, and then I kind of made my way over to the office. I've worked for Heartland. I started with Heartland in 2011. And over the last year and a half, I served as the executive assistant to the president of Heartland Cruiser and DRV. And over this last year, it was kind of a boring job, to be honest. There wasn't really a whole lot going on with the pandemic as far as we did a lot of working from home or a lot of uncertainty. And as we were developing our marketing team at Heartland, I was asked if I would like to be part of that. So over the last 4 months, this is a new transition for me, but I took it as an opportunity to learn because I'm definitely new to the marketing team. So over the last 4 months, I've kind of transitioned with that, along with still assisting the president and CFO here and there. So it's been a really awesome learning experience moving forward. But when I started with the RVWA, I Googled something and they popped up, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know this was a thing. And I was so excited that I think I emailed everybody on the board. Like, I'm pretty sure I sent an email out to Tracy and Susan and all of them. I'm like, hi, my name is Hope. How can I be a part of this? And I met with Sandy, and I was just so excited because being a woman working in the industry and working on the production line, it was difficult a lot of times. It is definitely a man's world for a long time, and still kind of is, but we're changing that. And so just to feel the support, like, oh, there's other women out there, and there's so many other things that go into it. And in RVWA, I mean, yes, the Drab to Fab specifically has been wonderful, and just meeting so many new people and the experiences that you get from that, that's priceless. But also, I mean, the RVWA is doing great things elsewhere too. So I know Sandy, she's met with our HR director at Heartland, and we're working on how can we make the RV industry bringing more people for more jobs. And we've been working on getting more childcare in the area, so people can go to work and not struggle, especially with the different start times being very early in the morning. There's just there's a lot of other stuff that the RVWA is helping with, which is huge for our industry.
Awesome.
But yeah, and
thank you, Hope. That's all good. Yeah, congratulations on all the moving and stuff like that, and
I feel
the new jobs. So
yeah, I feel bad because I got married, and then we had all this going on, and I was kind of transitioning into a different position at work, and even though, I mean, I've definitely tried to be there as much as I can. And then I have little ones, and we've got flag football going on Saturdays now, and we just got a lot of stuff going on, and I wish I could be a part of more, and I really am going to make an effort to make more of an appearance there. But
it's all good. We have people coming and going, and now we're at a point that they're doing some specialized stuff. So you definitely, especially in the beginning, was a rock star, and even Hope's Factory, Heartland, brought some stuff if we needed it for trim and drip rail and stuff like that. We'd be like, Hope. So Heartland was generous enough to say, hey, yeah, you can have some of this stuff. So
and I think that was one of the big things too, and I definitely wanted to touch point on this. It was in the beginning when I brought this to Mr. Ryan Jude, and I was like, hey, there's this thing going on, and I want Heartland to sponsor it. At first, I kind of got some laughs. Like, I was talking to some of the other staff members, and they're like, yeah, probably not something that's going to happen, because they didn't really, I don't think that maybe they thought it wasn't that big of a deal. Not that it was a joke, but it wasn't so big at first. And I just sat down with him, and I was like, listen, this is something, whether are we going to be proactive or reactive, because it's happening. So, we need to take a step back, and we need to look at this, and why would we not promote and recruit, inspire, unite the women in our industry? I mean, this is silly. And I was like, we're past this. The RV industry has grown so much, this is happening. And he was like, is this something you're passionate about? And I was like, it is. And he's like, all right, we'll sponsor it. And I was like, that's it? That's all I had to do? Awesome. Yeah, thank you. So it was really cool. But working with Tracy even and Susan, I mean, Susan, your people skills. Oh my gosh, you're so amazing. And then Tracy has like the brain of 100 humans. Like she does.
She really does.
Amazing.
I call Tracy our savant of RVs. I mean,
yes.
she knows everything that has to have RV. And through the whole process, I don't know how many times I'm like, Tracy, where'd Tracy go? Tracy, where's Tracy? Tracy. And so I was probably like that annoying child that was always looking for the mother and screaming out for her. But thank you so much for speaking up, Hope. I'm gonna
I'll
let
stop.
Yep. Oh no, it's okay. That's awesome. Well, we're glad to have you. Hope to see you there again soon. And then I think we have Chalet that came in all the way from Georgia. She flew in just to help install some product, from some of the companies that she works in. Chalet, I don't know if you're willing to speak or not, but we'd love to hear from you.
Well, I really don't have very much to say. I will say I learned from this experience that I'm a good salesperson. I'm not an electrician. Installing an inverter and the surge protector were difficult tasks. But I will say that it was a great experience. On a selfish level, I accomplished what I wanted to, which was I haven't been in the industry for very long, and I have a tendency to gravitate towards the people that I already know. So meeting new people was my sole purpose for volunteering for this. So it was a selfish reason, but it also benefited Sam Lax and Hughes as well. And but also knowing that because I am a manufacturing rep, I know my products very, very well, but seeing the other intricacies of an RV and how they work, the bits and pieces work together and things like that, I feel that would help me make suggestions to our manufacturers for other products, or like, you know, hey, we have problems with this. How can we fix this, or how can we fix that to make it easier? Because my focus is the aftermarket side. So knowing that it's in the aftermarket, we're having to fix or replace things that are coming from the OEM. How does it make it easier to transition that change? So it was a great experience for me. A long day, but it was a great experience. And I can say I don't know what I would have done without Tracy holding my hand, saying, well, now this is this wire and this is that wire, and this is going to go here and this goes there. So so thank you very much.
Yeah, and don't have the wires touch each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was shocked a few times. We shut the power down for that one. She did a great job.
Okay.
Protector, and by the way, it works very well. I actually reverse polarity'd out there just to make sure and do the red light. So
oh, nice. Awesome.
it's
Awesome.
well.
Yeah.
Good. That it is my favorite. It's one of my favorite, you know, as far as products, because it is so beneficial, but it's a product that people assume they don't need. So I really love selling that product.
Yeah. Well, that was the other thing about this is not just meeting each other, but learning all these different products and how they get installed. I mean, I did the heated floors. That was so cool. You know, who would have thought you router out the floor, you lay these things down in a pattern. We haven't wired them yet. So that's why I wait for Tracy, because I know nothing about electricity, black, white, red, orange, blue. Tracy.
Just remember, Susan, hold these two wires apart. Don't let them touch.
Yes, that's what she had me do when we were doing the air conditioning. She's like, hold these, don't let them touch. And I'm sitting there going, oh boy, oh boy.
It was great.
Well, we have
the old one out in the controller and everybody else is working. I just wasn't taking power down for it. Typically we would. It was fine.
Oh my God. We've had yeah, we've had so much fun. And you know, I got to admit, and there's been a lot of aggravation along the way, because I mean, you run into roadblocks, you know, this doesn't fit. Okay. You know, now what do we do? Now you have to switch gears and you got to think about a different way of doing it, or have it redone, or talk to the manufacturer. Why isn't this working? All that kind of stuff. And through it all, nobody's gotten mad. No, there's been no bad. We just kind of laughed through the whole thing. And I remember Tracy and I, at the very beginning of this project, I think it was you, Tracy, that said to me, she says, well, we'll see how our friendship comes out on the other end. And we're like, yep, we'll see. You know, so far so good. And I got it 6 months later. I don't know about you, Tracy, but I'm, yeah, it's all good.
We're good. Crazy ladies.
Yes, we're both crazy ladies. So
Well, this project wouldn't be possible without your guys' leadership. I do want to spend a couple minutes talking about what comes next once it is completed. So June 23rd, it's a Wednesday, at the RV Hall of Fame there in Elkhart, will be the grand reveal. So hopefully you guys everyone's been following along on the videos and seeing all of the updates. They come out in the newsletter pretty much weekly, and they're all on the Drab to Fab website as well, and our social channels. but you'll notice you haven't seen the full RV, and no one's going to see that except for, you know, people who volunteered and maybe are there in person until June 23rd when we do this final reveal. And our volunteers and sponsors we're getting ready to get them all signed up to participate in and attend that event. And then we're hoping that there will be some space available to sell some tickets afterwards. So those details are coming. And then the sweepstakes. So it's the reveal, and that's also the kickoff to the sweepstakes, because someone's going to win this thing. Like it's going home with someone. All these fabulous updates. So that is going to start on the 23rd as well. Susan, do you want to talk a little bit about the sweepstakes and how that's going to work? I know we're finalizing a few things, but I think you can probably give a good overview.
Yeah, so there's going to be three, the grand prize, which is the RV, the hitch, a $200 gift card from KOA, trying to think of all the other things. And then the second place is going to be like the Kuma chairs and a fire pit and some cleaning products. And then there's going to be a third prize as well that we're still working on. But tickets are going to go on sale. And you're gonna have the opportunity, the way this sweepstakes runs is it's gonna be, I think it was $25 for 20, tickets and up, but you also have the opportunity to share the posts and stuff and getting free tickets that way too. So you have the opportunity to like have 100 tickets if you share it with 100 people, that type of deal. But so this is going to run for about 60 days, exactly 60 days. So at 5 o'clock on June 23rd, the raffle will go live, and then it'll close August 23rd, and the winners will be announced August 24th. I know. And then it's going to go rolling down the road and some beautiful tires.
Awesome wheels.
Very, very awesome wheels. So do we have any questions from the audience on, I mean, I think our volunteers here did a pretty fantastic job of overviewing why they participated and what they got from this, and which is awesome to hear from you all.
We just couldn't have done it without them, our sponsors and our volunteers.
Yeah, and I think, this was a small thing, and it started, and the overwhelming support from both the sponsors. I don't think, when Susan had this initial idea and got together with Tracy, and it started to come together, I don't know that we would have predicted that there would have been nearly 100 people who have volunteered, and so many, 40 to 50 sponsors of the project as well. So thank you to all of you and the industry that are making this happen.
That's why I love this industry.
All right, if we don't have any other questions or comments, I think yay Friday afternoon for most of us, some of us at least. Weekend's almost here. So thank you again for another wonderful coffee, lunch, and learn. We'll be back. Speaking of tires, next Friday, we're going to hear TST, our wonderful sponsors, are going to be doing Tire Safety 101. So I know even though I don't regularly RV, it's going to be a cool thing to hear about another part of the industry that I may not be super educated on. And so I hope you all will join us for that as well.
Well, thank you, Monica, for putting this all together every week.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity to do this. It was great.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Have a good weekend.